the channel, and today I'm outside the greenhouse because I'm going to take you on a greenhouse tour. It's the 20th of April and it is so busy in there. As you'll see, I haven't tidied this up for you. This is real life going on here. It's a Robinson's greenhouse, so we inherited this when we moved in here 5 years ago, which I'm really grateful for. It's a double length greenhouse and I'm hoping this year we're going to absolutely maximise the use out of this. I feel like we have most years, but every year we're learning something new. It's nice and quiet for a change, so the chickens and the ducks are quiet, the dogs aren't barking, the lambs aren't baaing, so I thought I'd take the opportunity while I've got it just to show you around. As you can see, it's very much practical, work in progress. This is me in the middle of stuff. So last night I was sat here till goodness knows what time, potting on, planting on, doing all the things. So I haven't tidied that away because I'm going to be working on this tonight, and I'll show you exactly what I've been up to. As you can see, it's nearly 37 degrees in here and it's about 24 degrees outside. So one job for this weekend is to clean these windows. So they're absolutely filthy. They're not going to be letting in as much light as potentially they could. So let's go to the back of the greenhouse and get started down here. Okay, so we've got some red vein sorrel just starting to come through. We've been watched off the chickens. Some other standard sorrel, I can't remember, is it bell sorrel? Have I marked that up right? Anyway, that's not coming through. That's the second time that's filled, so those seeds are going in the bin. I've got some creeping thyme here and some lemon balm, so 3 rows of each. These bad boys here are my outdoor tomatoes. So I planted these a little bit later, or I sowed these a little bit later than the other tomatoes that I've got, because these will just get far too big and I won't have enough space in the greenhouse to manage them until they go out in about May time. So our last frost date here is the end of May, so it's quite a long time to wait. These are just standard alderman peas, so Victoria Colossal Climbing. Oh, bumblebee. And so these are just your standard alderman peas, the Victoria Colossal Climbing, as I say. And in here is just water at the bottom of this. This is actually some gorse cuttings that we're going to put on the riverbank. I'll show you that in another video. These here desperately need watering by the look of that, but these are okay. Isn't that strange? These are the sour beans, so I've got these from Real Seeds, so I'm really looking forward to these. I think they're really good for storing if I remember rightly. Oh wow, this wasn't here yesterday. Okay, so that's just some coriander that I just threw in because I had it. And in this tray here, we've just got mustard greens, Arctic King lettuce, which is probably too hot for it in here at the moment, beet blood leaves, which are just used for salad leaves. This is just standard Mizuna, some little gem lettuce, Lola Rosso, and these are just mixed salad leaves. So all of those guys will actually be going outside in the cold frames later this week. So my cold frames are literally just outside the greenhouse, because it's going to be too hot in here for them. But we are due a couple more nights of negative minus figures here, which is just crazy for this time of the year, which is why so much is still inside. These are lazy housewife beans, and these are some more of the outdoor tomatoes. These are where the outdoor tomatoes were picked from. So Outdoor Girl, just a reminder of the variety there. Now these are just here. I don't throw them out just in case I need them or anybody else could use them. And then moving over here is my Savoy cabbage that I sowed on the 21st of March. So we tend to grow as much as we can. I'm not totally into successional sowing, staggering things, because I do like to preserve a lot in one go. But we do stagger some, so I'll show you that on an outside plot tour later. Now these here are the tomatoes that are further on, mostly tomatoes, you'll see in a minute. So this year we are growing about 200 tomato plants. There's lots of different varieties. So if we start over here, I'll be able to show you some of the varieties. So we've got some, these ones here are Super Mama. So these are F1 varieties. So these should be paste tomatoes, I believe. There's another variety called Big Mama. There is one Sweet Million, because that's the only one that worked. There is a variety called Bloody Butcher, which is more like a salad tomato. And there's an Opelka tomato. I got those imported from Hungary because that's the only place I could get them from. And remind me what you are. These are country something. Can't remember what these, country something tomatoes. Anyway, they look good on the write-up. This here is succumbing a little bit to the heat, I think. And incidentally, they're starting to sow them. The roots are starting to come through. These are desperate to be potted on. So that's a job for tonight after work. We've got Big Mama and San Marzano. We've got Romas, Black Russians. So these guys have already been potted on. Let me just step up here, can't reach. These are the Roma variety. So I'm looking forward to these. Hopefully these will be in lots of canning and freezing. I've got a single goji berry bush. So I just purchased this. This isn't from seed. Hope that that's going to do well. Okay, now back over here. So these are the rest of the cucumbers that need potting on. So these actually got dropped, which is why they look like that. So there's 4 or 5 different varieties, but I'll show you the ones that we've already potted on. We've got some basil. We've got some, guess what they are because Tracy lost the label, peppers and tomatoes. Now here, so we've got Telegraph cucumbers, 4 of those, 4 Pissandra, 4 of those, how'd you say that? Venlo, some of those which are pickling, Carmen, F1s. So there's generally about 4 of each, there's more of the pickling variety. Some masterpiece cucumbers. So looking forward to those, and the idea is that any that we've got left that aren't pickled will be going to our animals for food as well. So nothing will go to waste. This tray here desperately needs potting on, pricking out, whatever you want to say. They're all brassicas. So we've got some purple Vienna, kohlrabi, Romanesco, cabbage, cauliflower, bright light Swiss chard, giant kohlrabi. What are you over here? Perpetual spinach. Yeah, there's just all sorts in there, desperate to be done as well. In this little tub here, so this is the top of an egg tray, we've got some strawberry spinach, some leaf celery and some purslane, which I'm just figuring out where I can put that because it's quite invasive. And the rest there are the tomatoes. So moving into the other end of the greenhouse, we've got lots of potatoes, which after these frosts will be getting added to with the horse manure. In fact, I'll show you some of that. I've got some in the greenhouse and topped up with the horse manure, and they'll be put outside once the frosts have passed. These are doing fantastic. All first earlies in here. Up here we've got squash that I potted on last night on the table that I showed you. So there's the Crown Prince variety, and then Parthenon, is that how you say that? Variety. So they're looking well, and they grow so quickly. Every year I need to remind myself not to sow them too early, because they just grow so vigorously. And this is the rest of on our little homemade cart. These are the rest of the squash that we're waiting to go in. So these again are super long. This is actually tomato, Barry's crazy cherry tomato. For those who haven't heard it, I'm looking forward to see what that looks like. It's not as far on. Spaghetti squash, gold courgettes. What are you guys in here? Oh, these are giant marrows. Just looking forward to a bit of fun with those. Sunflowers. These are a Charles Dowding recommended variety. Uchikuri as well. Some more courgette style. Yeah, so looking forward to getting those in the bigger pots later on tonight, and eventually they'll go in the ground, but again not until the end of May. So potatoes down here, sorry, that's what I was telling you about. This is a black mulberry bush tree which I got for my 40th, which is coming on really well, looking absolutely fab. Might go in the ground, not sure yet. Leftover beetroot, we'll find a home for you. Leftovers station and the bits that you forget about, or that the writing disappears on, these will find home somewhere. And then I've also got some cardoons here, which again, some people think they're a weed, but we'll find a home for them. Everything's got a purpose. A couple of blueberry bushes in the background, and this is the cranberry early black from Victoriana Nurseries, because my daughter absolutely loves cranberries. And then let me show you under this table here. So here is actually what the horse muck looks like, that's been rotted down for ages. There's no heat left in this whatsoever. Any weeds, seeds, grass seeds or anything like that are completely gone. And this is like black gold. So I'll put this in the bottom of these pots to maybe 2/3 and the rest just compost. Then I'll plant straight into them, which is what I've done with these guys here. So these are kind of 2/3 of the horse muck. Okay, over here we've got more brassicas. Actually they need watering. So these all this, what have we got? We've got the sprouts, cabbage, different types of cabbage, hollyhocks at the back, celery, leaf celery again at the back there, leeks, they need to go outside, carrots, more peas. So these are the Oregon sugar pods, which they're Mange 2 variety. Mange 2, Rodney. More leeks, dill. Is that coriander or parsley? You tell me. And these are transplanted last night. They are red cabbages, and I think they're having a bit of a strop of being transplanted. The roots weren't great on them, so they might not work. Oh, these poor guys are desperate to go out. These are all year round cauliflower. In fact, they can go in the cold frame tonight. Then, sorry, let me just get in here. We've got valerian, good for sleeping, helping you sleep, and red clover, good for tea, I think. Globe artichokes coming up nicely there, and more red cabbages. Underneath, last but not least, the Jerusalem artichokes I forgot to put outside. They probably shouldn't be that far on yet, but never mind. They can go outside soon. More potatoes. Oh my goodness, I've had to come outside. It's absolutely, it's so warm in there, it's unbelievable. Okay, it sounds like the piece is over. The dogs are starting to bark again. But I hope you enjoyed the little greenhouse tour. You can see what we're up to. I've also got 90 pepper plants in the house, which I daren't bring out yet, just due to the cold snaps that we're still due. So it's due to be -1 tonight, and then just down to 0 tomorrow. After that, we should be okay. I've been saying this for like a week and a half now. By the end of April, I don't expect it to be in the minus figures. But anyway, it is what it is. And I'm going to bring those out. The tomatoes are all going to be potted on and moved onto the top and moved around, and then the peppers can go where the tomatoes are. So if they do need a little bit of heat, they can use the heat that's there, because I've actually got an oil-fired radiator in there, and a little bit of heated wire as well, that you can put them on the bottom just to give them a bit of bottom heat if needed one night. Hopefully we won't need any more of that. I'm going to go and get a cold drink and try and cool off, because I'm absolutely roasting now. So I hope you enjoyed my little greenhouse tour. I'd love to have your comments below, and I'll get it tidied up for next time.